That's
work
great.
on her.
Well, yeah, keep going. Play until they take it away from you, right?
Yeah.
Coming into the season in Mesa, in just the district, and having volleyball come together, talk about that a little bit and working together with other coaches and having successes.
Well, I think that, to be the better teams, you all need to be kind of knowing who each other are. And one of my first phone calls after becoming coach was to Coach V at Mesa High.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what am I doing? And she's like, I'll help you.
Yeah.
And I think just having a good relationship with all the coaches, and I mean, a lot of times in club, talking about club, a lot of the girls play with each other and get to know each other, and I think that will kind of help build the district together as well, and get the players to know each other, and yeah, I don't know.
The season ahead, your schedule. Talk about your schedule a little bit beyond just playing within your district.
Well, we start with Camelback next week and then Trevor Brown. I think it's great to play teams out of the district. I don't really know the level of some of these other schools. I've been in the club scene forever, so I'm back in the high school scene. So I don't really know them very well. I think it's good, though, to get to know different levels and play different teams, and then we'll come back with some different gameplay and practice.
Good. Girls, if you didn't have volleyball, if you didn't have a sport, would your high school experience be as meaningful? I mean, just talk about what volleyball has meant to you here in your high school years, or playing just sports in general, or extracurricular activities.
I feel like volleyball has really given me an outlet to build bonds with these girls, to have some pride in my school. It's exciting to get involved because then you have something you look forward to being at school. It's not just somewhere you go just to get through the day. And it makes me enjoy it. It makes me enjoy my high school experience.
I feel like it's just like a getaway. Like it's like my one place that I like find peace in.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would be doing.
Yeah. No, I've got a son who's a senior, and so you guys are all on the same track. And you've been through COVID, and you've been through school being in and out. And to have sports as a place to go to as that safe haven and have some fun probably has meant up more to you than people may realize. That's good stuff. All right, guys, good luck this season. Thanks for coming up. You did great, see? Short and sweet. There's Lindsay Palmer. You have questions? Oh, wait, before you guys go, do you have questions? Any questions in the audience? Yeah.
Yeah, this is for Rachel. You said you guys are kind of related. How are you guys kind of related?
Her mom, oh wait, no. She and my mom are cousins.
My husband and her mom are cousins,
Gotcha. Awesome. And then for you, Coach, coming back to your alma mater, what was the sort of hiring or application process like? Were you the first to reach out about the position, or did they reach out to you, or what was that like?
It was probably a little unconventional. They reached out to me.
Was it exciting when is this something you'd been like, hoping for, to be able to sort of coach a high school instead of club?
Well, in all honesty, I have 3 daughters. One's a sophomore right now. She's on the team, actually. And I kind of figured at some point throughout my life raising kids, I'd probably be back here when they were looking for a coach. And that time wasn't around, and I was happy to let these coaches run with it. And so the position was available, and I wouldn't let these girls down. So I was happy to step in.
Thank you.
Questions?
You two had mentioned that it was right after cuts that without a coach. How long was that period of time afterwards?
Let's see.
Cuts were that night. We
And, like,
found
the
out
next
in the morning.
Yeah.
How long was it until you received the new coach?
The end of the
It was
day.
the end of the day. It was
We
really
didn't want to
quick.
miss a practice, so we were there Friday afternoon for practice.
And did that kind of uncertainty until the end of the day prompt a leadership role in you to step up and get ready for the season?
Yeah, I feel like we were kind of the ones that were over all the girls. We were trying to figure out, hey guys, it's going to be okay. We were trying to figure out what everyone knew, just kind of not let it get scattered.
I think they came together as a team, just kind of from hearing a few things here and there. I think they all were like, what's going on, guys? And they bonded just in that little situation.
And with your prior club coaching experience, is there a difference in your coaching between high school and club, or is it all?
I mean, at this level, there's a little bit different, but it starts with the basics. So, I mean, you get into quicker things and maybe different routes of hits and stuff that we've been working on, but I mean, it all comes down to the basics.
If you'd like to have further questions, we'll let you guys go, and we appreciate you coming out. Good luck this year. Thank you, Lindsay. It's Westwood. Coming up now will be Jim Van Wicklen, the head coach at Dobson. And Dobson will bring up a couple of players, followed by Mountain View, and then Skyline. I know, right? Head coach Jim Van Wicklen at Dobson now with us for a few minutes. Thanks for coming out. Let's talk a little bit about your off season, now into the regular season getting started and putting this group together, Jim.
So I'm a brand new coach too. So I came in to a program filled with a lot of uncertainty. They were 3-22 last year, so they had a rough season. A lot of confidence building. We have an incredible group of girls with a lot of talent. They just didn't know it. Mm-hmm. So I've been really spending time letting them see how good they really are, and it's been fun. They are by far the best family I've ever seen. I think going through what they've gone through, they love each other, they cheer for each other, they praise growth. It's been fun.
What led you to this job? Your first season, what was your path in a nutshell to get you here?
I always wanted to coach high school, but you know, when you have kids and a job, you know, it's really
right. It's
not a high-paying position.
Right.
But my youngest is now 17, so I'm finding a place where I can do it. I heard about the Dobson job. I talked to our awesome AD, and that's kind of how we got to where we were. And yeah, it's been a journey.
Who do you have here today with you, Coach?
So I got Mo and Tay, and they're both seniors and big-time studs on our team. I love them.
Wow, studs.
Yeah.
That's the pressure putting it on you two, right? Let's start with you, Mo. What is it that Coach has brought so far, and the uncertainty of a new coach and all of that, and working through it?
Well, I felt like since the day he came in and met us, he was really clear about what he wanted to build for our program, and he pushes everyone to what their goals are. Mm-hmm. And so even with the uncertainty, there's oh, Jim's here and he'll push us.
Tay?
I think the same thing. I think he just mostly wants us to have a good season because it's mostly all of our last season, and before it was rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this year is going to be really, really good.
What do you like most about Coach?
Gosh.
If there's no answer, it's okay. There's nothing.
There's so much. There's so much she's trying to like.
Not a thing, Mr. Moderator. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
You're not sure yet?
I think with Tay, she was already amazing without great technique, without an understanding of the sport. Mm-hmm. And so you watch her make, it takes a while to make, and she never gives up. She never complains. She never says my way is the right way. And then she hits that perfect technique and just nails the ball. And you just watch, 15 girls just jump up and down like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest hit. And you can just see it in her face where she's just, how did I do that? I want to do that again. And so she pushes and pushes and pushes. And even yesterday we had a special guest, and she asked to have extra practice time right before so she could work on a skill. So she's been fun to develop. I wish I'd had more time with her.
Why don't you give a little bit of your background that led you to this? Because you've mentioned, you've played.
Yeah.
So why don't you give some people an idea of what Dobson is getting as their head coach?
So I grew up in California, so I played ball mainly on the beach. It wasn't a lot of high school. I'm old. But I got to play for the University of Tennessee, which was great. Wonderful experience. Peyton Manning was there. Couldn't ask for better until they cut the program.
What could you do that Peyton Manning couldn't?
Comb my hair back then. But both had the same forehead. Actually, people thought we were relatives because we had big foreheads, and it looked similar. But they cut the program, so I ended up transferring over to Middle Tennessee State. Finished out my career there. Set a record that lasted 20 years for the most digs in a game.
Wow. What was the number? How many digs?
47 digs in one.
Wow.
So yeah.
Girls, can you do 47 digs in one game?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And the sad part is I got beat out 2 years ago, so I flew in and congratulated him. And then I watched a lot of terrible coaches work with my daughter.
Mm.
And so at about age 12, I decided I wanted to step in and fix it. And you want to talk about it. Go from men's volleyball to 12-year-old girls, what a change. You're screaming at them and, wait, that doesn't work. And so I coached her all the way. My son, he's a setter at Corona, so I've had some time, got to work with him. But I've coached for Club 1 and Aspire both, so I've done a lot of club coaching, but always wanted to do high school. I just never could make it work with my life. And so this is it, man, and I couldn't have picked a better group to walk in on.
Girls, I talked to the girls at Westwood about it. Having the high school that you guys have had that's been interrupted by a lot of things, what has sports meant for you? What has volleyball meant for you?
I feel like volleyball, you build a whole nother family too. So you have girls you can go to, you have like your coaches you can go to, you have other people you can go to that, you know, are your friends and peers that, you know, you can get along with. And again, it's like another outlet that you feel safe in.
I think it's something that you would go to when you don't know like what else to do. So it's like being stuck at home, I would go to volleyball. I would play volleyball because it's like basically my second family. Like they're all my family, and I just like want to be around them.
That's great.
I like it, yeah.
Questions? If you have a question, identify your outlet. And questions going once, questions going twice. You're off the hook. Nice job, guys. Good job. Good luck this year, Jim.
Thank you.
Let's have Clark Fleming from Mountain View come up. If Mountain View is here. And players from Mountain View. Hello. Good. Good. Of coach here, so I can harass him the most.
Ask more questions to them.
All right, we're joined now by Clark Fleming, Mesa Mountain View Toros girls volleyball coach. Welcome.
Thank you.
Would you give a little bit of background of you and your job at Mountain View?
Let's see, I've coached at Mountain View. This will be my 9th season. I've done 5 years of boys, and then obviously 9 years of girls. I've coached collegiately both at Benedictine University here in Mesa and Park University in Gilbert, and then just a lot of local club teams.
Great, great. What do you like most about your team this year?
They're cool kids. They're awesome. I love being around them.
Yeah.
They just happen to be good at volleyball too. It's great.
That's awesome. Who do you have here with you today, Coach?
So this is Olivia Tukuwafu and Rachel Reed.
Olivia, talk about Coach a little bit and the impact that Coach has put.
Not to sound cheesy or anything, but Clark is probably like one of the hands down like best coach I've had in my volleyball career. I just love that. Like when I go to practice, I'm happy to be there. I'm happy he's coaching me. We get a lot of work done, and if I'm having a bad day, he's there to go to, and he just always knows what's going on. He can always relate volleyball to real life situations, and I just love that about him.
That's great.
Clark is more than just a volleyball coach. He's like a friend that we can go to, like she was saying, and he's really good. He has a really good look on the game, and it's more than just skill. He knows the game really well. He knows it's like more mental than it is actually playing. I love that he shows us that it's that and teaches us that too. So. How
close-knit is your team?
This year we have a lot of new people on the team, a lot of new freshmen, and some sophomores returning. But we're close. We're like I could say the freshmen are like my little sisters as of right now. So I'm excited to be able to play with them.
Same.
Same? Ditto?
Yeah, ditto.
When you look at your team right now, what do you like most about them?
They're supportive. I was sending a video to my AD of one of our freshmen getting a kill at our last scrimmage, and it's really cool to watch just your kids all celebrate and be excited about people who are new to the program, and it's like their success or their success, and that's the coolest thing. That's what you want to be around.
Your schedule this year, talk about your schedule a little bit.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Is tough good?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It is.
You want it. You want it.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's what we were looking for. mean, the PowerPoint rankings are basically everything in the tournament, so we wanted to make sure that we were giving ourselves not only a look at who the people we would be playing in that tournament is, but also, you know, giving ourselves a shot to be highly ranked and hopefully win a couple of those matches.
Do you go out of state?
We do not, but that's something that we are looking at.
Yeah. The growth of volleyball, girls volleyball, I had 2 daughters that played girls back in the day, and they play club. And I always feel like volleyball in the fall gets overlooked for football from a media standpoint, but I would see the grind and the grit and the idea of going and playing outside of the district or playing around the state. So that's your philosophy is?
Well, and with the prevalence of club, a lot of times the girls are getting those experiences outside of the high school game.
Correct.
And so in high school, it's still something we are looking to do. We just didn't happen to get it done this year. But most of these girls, I mean, are traveling out of state and playing in multiple out-of-state tournaments and playing against some of the best competition in the nation. So I think it's something that's almost mandatory at this stage in the game.
When you're building a program, how do you go about it? You know, you've been at Mountain View for a while now, and you've been on the club scene, you've been over at Park, you've been around Benedictine, so you've built programs. What is your philosophy in building a program?
I think there's a lot of variables involved. I don't think there's probably 1 or 2 simple things. There's definitely no quick fix to it. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to having really good volleyball players like these two who do a ton of the heavy lifting for you. And I think that's probably the best philosophy is you try and control being really competitive, and you generally make a lot of wrong decisions, but you try and have quality relationships, you try and show up and work hard every single day, you try and find people who believe in the same stuff you do, and if you happen to get great volleyball players along the way, then that's great, you're really lucky. But if you don't, at least you can still feel really satisfied with what you're doing with your life and not feel like your only goal was to win and to find good volleyball players, and then maybe you don't even get that.
You have to play club. I mean, you need to play year-round. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I'm just...
I definitely would say if your goal is to try and be competitive in the top part of 6A volleyball, you probably should be playing club.
Right, you should be playing. What are your plans beyond high school?
I'm currently verbally committed to University of Nebraska Omaha, so I'm planning to go play there after high school as a setter. But
Major in what?
trying to go into sports medicine or physical therapy, that kind of department.
That's great, because volleyball, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Elbows, knees.
I'm also verbally committed to play at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm going to go play volleyball there and major in biology. I'm hoping to become a veterinarian.
That's awesome. Questions?
Hi, David Roach, Chrome News. Coach, what's something that, you know, from your first year here at Mountain View to now, what's something that maybe you've changed in your coaching philosophy or something you've learned along the way that now, like, you do something a little bit differently?
I tell them these stories all the time because I was an absolute idiot, and I made it about myself all the time. And I used to tell them this story because a lot of these girls I coached when they were like 10, 11, 12 years old. And when I felt like I couldn't get the results I wanted from my players, I used to like try and punish and like, oh, you guys can't call me Clark, and it was a respect thing for me, and I felt like, you know, it was because they didn't respect me enough. And I recognized like I just needed to get more knowledge. I had to be better at the game. I'd be a better teacher. I'd be better about getting the information I wanted to them and teach them how I wanted them to do things. And the more I kind of took on I guess more of a servant attitude and less of it's about me and I need to look good and they need to respect me, I generally got the results I wanted anyways because they were the ones who figured it out.
Questions? Yes.
Noel Lamel, Sports 360. Girls, what do you as veterans do to ensure that supportive environment with the younger players on your team?
I would probably just say lead by action. I mean, I feel like a lot of younger girls, they lead by example. So just coming to practice on time, being the first one to set up the net, just basically showing up and balling out.
To go along with that, also being super inclusive. I know it's hard for people to include others when they don't know them very well, so get to know your players, get to know your teammates, prepare activities that you can do together, and just be super inclusive, make them feel welcome, and ask them what they need from me, and tell them what I need from them in order to be good teammates.
That's a good answer. I had one other question on your recruitment. What advice would you give those that want to play in college for the recruiting piece? And Coach, if you want to weigh in on this too, but the girls, I'm just curious.
Send out emails. Like, if you don't think you're gonna go there, just send it. One thing that I learned is coaches, they all know each other, they all have the connection. So if you send an email to one coach, they're probably talking to a school you could potentially go into. Personally, I did not see myself playing at Nebraska, but I saw an opportunity and looked at their school, got deeper into the program, and I was in love. So yeah, just getting out, just putting out film and just getting yourself out there as much as you can.
I'd say the same thing. Just don't wait to do it. Don't procrastinate it. Also, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't think, oh, I'm going to this school. This is the only one I want to look at. Just definitely be open to anything because you could go anywhere and have a good time anywhere, not just one school. So.
And I'll add on top of it, I would say no school is too good for you. And it's really good to go and be respectful of every single coach that reaches out and shows the time and effort to actually care about you, invest in you. And then when you find an option that you actually want, then you politely decline. But I see way too many kids say, well, I'm not going to JUCO level or NAI level, and I'm going Division I.
Yeah.
And then they don't end up getting the opportunity, and they try and go back, and those coaches, you've already burned the bridge and moved on from you. So
That's very smart. You've seen it with Park, and you've seen it at Benedictine. That's great. That's great. Anything else you want to add about your team? I didn't ask you, Coach.
oh, they're fantastic. They're studs. I'm really lucky every single day. Volleyball is such a small part of it, and that's kind of the cool part is they've handled all the volleyball business. They're at this point now where they've been playing volleyball for years and years. So a huge majority of what we do every single day is just having a good time and having good interactions and caring about each other and trying to help people around us hopefully have a good life. And volleyball is just a really small part of that, and so it's a cool thing.
Good job. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you. Good job. Good luck this year, okay? All right? Good luck. All right, next up, we will have Skyline, followed by Mesa and Red Mountain. Skyline, followed by Mesa, and then Red Mountain. Just two athletes. Got it. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. We now welcome Skyline to the podium. Coach, I don't want to butcher your name.
It's okay.
So if you could just introduce yourself.
Sure. Coach P. Sela Tukia, or Coach P for sure.
Coach P. I thought about it, but I'd rather you do it. Who do you have here today, Coach P?
I have my fabulous seniors. Ashley plays middle blocker, outside hitter, has played varsity all 3 years, but has been at Skyline all 4 years. And I have Emily, our fabulous libero defensive specialist, maybe setter. And she's been at Skyline for 4 years, also played varsity 4 years.
That's great. What do you like most about your team?
They're fun. It's my first year.
Okay.
And so for any first year coach, you really just got to get the feel for your team. And I'm very fortunate that a lot of them are experienced volleyball players. They have a lot of club experience. They have a lot of experience playing together. So it's just nice to go into an environment where they're gelling, they're connecting. It makes coaching a lot more easier to have a team that just really works well together and communicates well together.
What do you like most about Coach?
She doesn't give up on us, even if we're like doing really bad at practice. She'll still make us like try harder, and not give up on each other.
I'd say like the same thing. Like she likes to push us really hard. She sees potential in us that we don't even see in ourselves.
That's great. When you find out you have a new coach, it's like a new teacher, right? Was there nerves among the girls, or were you guys excited to meet the new coach? Just talk about that process.
I feel like we were all excited to just find out who our new coach was. Well anticipated when we found out, and then once we met her at Open Gyms, I feel like all of us like instantly grew a connection with her. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Same? Okay. Coach, why don't you give a background of what led you to Skyline, clubs that you've been involved in or coaching in the past, playing and all that?
Yeah, so I played at Chaminade University of Honolulu. I just moved back in November, and so I moved back primarily to help my sister and my family. We have a volleyball club out in Santan Valley.
Okay.
And so it's Tahina, Arizona. We're in year 3. And so our first year went really well. We started off with just 12 girls, 1 team. Our second year, we went to 30.
Wow.
And so 2 teams, and we're going to year 3, just being very hopeful with the community. And so the opportunity to come over to Skyline, thanks to AD Phil, he reached out to me. I actually had to make a decision between Coronado or Skyline, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity that Phil came out, had a 2-hour meeting just to talk about Skyline, talk about the girls. And I did a tour on campus, about a 2-hour tour with our equipment manager, Paula. And I just felt welcomed. I felt at home, and it was everything that I needed in terms of facilities, in terms of the connection with the girls, and just feeling at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so it being just about 30 minutes from work, it just worked out perfectly. But I think in all seriousness, Skyline just feels like the right fit.
Good for you. So you're building a program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's no shortcuts, no quick fixes.
Mm-mm.
And what do you want to accomplish in year 1 that is beyond W's and L's?
It's beyond wins and losses at this point. It's making sure that I'm building great character. I'm making sure I'm building girls that just don't want to give up,
Mm-hmm.
who have a better outlook than the seasons before, because I believe I'm like their 3rd coach, in all 4 years. And so it's hard. I get it. Like I also was in a situation where I had a different coach every year in college. But to make sure I'm building those connections and making them feel safe at practice, and making sure that I'm pushing them to their limits, and really making sure that they know that I trust you and I trust your teammates. Just trust me as a coach, meet me halfway, and we'll get the job done.
How do you balance volleyball and school coming in as seniors, so a year from now you're going to be out the door? How does that work for you guys, balancing books and sports?
It's always school first. Coach makes sure that we have everything in school like aligned, like our grades are good. We can't play volleyball unless we have good grades. So keeping on top of homework and making sure everything's good.
And for yourself?
Yeah, she makes sure school comes first, and then practice and volleyball after.
What are your plans beyond high school?
I want to go to Baker University in Kansas.
Okay.
My sister, she goes there.
And play volleyball?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And yourself?
I'm not quite sure yet. I know I want to go to university. Not quite sure if I want to play volleyball yet.
Okay. That's what coaches are there for.
Yep.
Yeah. Questions? Any questions? Yes.
Hi, David Birch, Cronkite News. Coach B, what's it just been like sort of getting used to the school and girls? What's like some of the big things that you've noticed about coaching high school as opposed to the volleyball club?
A lot of patience. You got to have a lot of patience, and really just understand the environment you're going into. Like, my expectations aren't very high at this point, but I do have obviously high standards when it comes to coaching, but making sure that I understand who I'm coaching and the girls that I'm working with. I think it's more important to just have them enjoy loving volleyball. Like, I don't want to force it out of them, but what I'm getting is girls that just want to play and have fun. And then the learning and the coaching comes right after.
Questions? Okay, thank you very much. Good luck this season.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Coach P. You're going to go with them? Okay, next up we have Mesa. Coach V. Hayapo is in Tucson. We have 2 representatives from the team, 2 of the players that are going to come up, and they're going to say how they're going to coach Coach V. Just kidding. That will be followed by Red Mountain. You want to be Coach V?
Sure.
You're Coach V. I'll ask you the coaching questions. First of all, introduce yourselves to the camera.
I'm Ellie Poster. I'm a senior and the setter. I'm McKenna Rumpel. I'm a middle blocker sophomore.
And both of you, if you were to talk about Coach V, what would you say about Coach V and the impact that Coach V has put on you so far?
One thing that I've really stood out to me about Coach V is she just always pushes us to be better. She knows like what we're capable of and won't let us settle for anything but our best.
McKenna?
She's very intense and she just loves us so much and we love her and we just give it our all the time and that's what she encourages us to do.
What do you two like best about the program before the season gets started as it sits right now?
Mesa High, we have a lot of traditions at Mesa High, and Coach V just always is pushing us to do our traditions. Like we go to the cemetery and clean up the cemetery, and it's just a lot of to get our team together to bond.
We only have like 5 returnees this year, so I'm super excited to kind of get a fresh new team and work together.
That's great. And the newbies so far, do you like the young blood that's come in?
Yeah, I think they're doing really good.
Good.
Adjusting and playing at the varsity level now.
For both of you, what your seniors and the idea of having high school and volleyball to fall back on, because it's been a tough run for anybody who's going into their senior year with COVID and stay at home and all that. What's volleyball been like to help you through your 4 years of high school? If you just start down that path a little bit.
It's just kind of nice because you just like the friends that you build in that, and it's just nice to just have somewhere to escape, like at school, and just go and be yourself and have fun.
I'm only a sophomore this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I was lucky to skip the COVID year, but I know I tried to watch Mesa High when I was in 8th grade, and it was just amazing how they were able to stay together even through like the tough times.
Your schedule, do you guys know your schedule inside and out? Just talk about your schedule a little bit. Is it tough?
No, we have a little bit of an easier schedule this year, but just those games are important for us to win in order to hopefully qualify for the playing game for states.
Yeah. Anything you want to add about your team I haven't asked? No? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Questions?
Hi, David Rodish, Cronkite News. Want to know a little bit more about the cemetery. What does that mean for you guys to kind of give back to the community, and sort of what's been your experience with doing that?
It's been a tradition for like I think about 100 years. It started with a student at Mesa High named Zito Ishikawa that died, and we always go and clean up the cemetery and visit his grave.
How many people go when they do that?
It's all the fall sports, but it's open to any sport and any club. So it's a lot of people that go. It's pretty cool.
I think there was like 250 this year.
What cemetery?
Mesa Cemetery.
In Mesa Cemetery. And is it a nighttime, daytime, anytime?
It's in the morning.
Morning, yeah.
In the morning, we had to supply 12 buses for them to get all the student athletes over there from activities, and it's a pretty slick little deal.
That's great.
Yeah.
Questions? Any questions?
Yes, I'll go again. You guys, or McKenna, you mentioned all the only having 5 returners. How does it feel to kind of sort of be a leader and to bring a new group of people into the team?
It's really exciting. I think that the 5 people that have come back are really taking a leadership role altogether, and we're bringing people up and putting them to our standards, and Coach V is really helping us with that. And I just think that we're really excited to have new people in the program this year.
Do you both play club, I'm assuming?
Yes.
In which club?
I played at Moulton this past year with V.
I play at Arizona Storm Elite.
Okay. It's a great scene. We were EVJs, and Coach V coached 2 of my daughters, so you guys are in great hands. So good job. Thanks for coming out and representing the coach. Well done. See you. Okay, next up we have Red Mountain to finish out. Red Mountain. And after Red Mountain volleyball, we will have a break and then football.
Try to pawn everything off on them.
Have a seat. Hi, Coach.
How's it going?
Good, good. Coach Sunderhouse.
Yep.
Got it right.
Haas, but
Haas,
it's close enough.
Haas.
Coach Cody's what I
Coach Cody.
Yeah, it's easier.
Coach Cody, how many years?
This is my 3rd season.
as the varsity coach, and then I did 1 year as a JV coach before that.
Okay, and who do you have here today?
This is Raquel Gonzalez and Alice Stevenson.
Okay. Guys, what can you say about Coach? Put Coach on the spot.
I've had Coach for all 4 years actually, because I played JV and varsity my first year, so I had him his first season as JV coach, and I've had him ever since.
Okay, introduce yourself for the camera if you could.
I am Raquel Gonzalez, and I'm a senior this year.
And
I'm Elle Stevenson, and I'm a senior this year.
okay. And what do you like most about Coach and the team?
Him coming really helps the program a lot, I think. You can just tell he's a lot more involved and cares more about his athletes.
Okay. When you took over to where it is today, is it where you want it to be in building a program?
I don't think it's ever a finished product. You're always working on improving and getting better, and we've been implementing things slowly throughout the time I've been there. This group has embraced the team mentality the most so far in the third season. Hearing that and implementing that and really enforcing that has really been nice to see them embrace that mentality.
Your schedule, if you talk about that a little bit.
Our schedule early on's pretty light. We've got a lot of far travel. We got to go down to San Luis for one. But it'll be a good opportunity to get a lot of girls some playing time early on, and then we get into our tough region schedule later on.
San Luis for a road trip, that's a deal. How did that happen? It's great to bond, right?
Picked.
Yeah. Don't want to throw any ADs under the bus
right.
here, but.
I mean, we understand that they need to play people too, so we're going to operate like it's any other normal game. It's just going to be a lot of missed school that day and a good bonding experience on the drive down.
And hopefully it's a good bus.
Right. Hopefully it's a good bus.
Yeah.
Air conditioning and a bathroom or something. I don't know.
Girls, you looking forward to travel?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great opportunity for us as a team to get closer and spend more time together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a good experience.
Are you close right now?
Yeah, definitely becoming closer. A few of us are close, but definitely as a team getting closer right now.
I think we have a lot of good team chemistry going from the start.
What about region play? It sounds like you guys know your opponents pretty well, and yeah, you got that look in your eye of
Coming back this year, wanting some wins. So.
Definitely getting ready to win some teams.
Yeah. And region play for you, you addressed it briefly. If you want to go a little deeper into the region.
Well, Mountain View's kind of been the standard bearer in our region for a while now. Mesa High's always been tough historically in the region. So those are the teams that we're striving to be like, to maybe try and knock off the top of the mountain with a little bit. It's pretty competitive from top to bottom. So it's nice to have that level of play in our region to kind of elevate everybody else.
And you girls all know each other on the other teams pretty well because of club? Yeah. And what clubs?
I played for EVJ.
Okay.
I played for Moulton.
Okay. So you're just seeing guys right or girls right and left.
Yeah, seeing them all the time.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. What are your plans beyond high school?
For me, I'm going to be attending a 4-year university, either in California or in state here. So probably pursuing a medical path. We'll see.
And keep playing?
Probably not. This will be my 10th year playing. So I think it's time for me to move on to my next 10 years.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to play in college, but definitely want to attend a 4-year university here in Arizona.
Okay. Questions?
Hi, David Brodish. Coach, what's something that, coming from last year that you really were trying to, in the off-season, looking to improve upon or fix or get ready for this year?
So our big focus this off-season and the start of this season has been playing for each other. It was really big that we pushed, and having every point matter, every ball matter, every touch matter, not taking plays off. And so it's really been nice to see that the girls are embracing that. I feel like we struggled with that in the past, where we take a play off or give up on a ball, and it would really affect the momentum of the game. And even though it doesn't always lead to points, that keeps that drive and that energy up. So that was our big focus this offseason.
questions?
Maybe for all three of you, Jordan Spurgeon, Sports 360Z, for some of your long trips, who's got ox?
That's a good question. You're gonna have to vote on that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants it.
Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a bus with some TVs, we can watch a movie or something.
All right, you guys are done. Congratulations on making it through. Thanks for coming up.
It wasn't as rough as I
Good luck,
thought it was
Coach.
gonna be.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, we will stop aside for now and return with the football portion of the Mesa School District Media Day.
We're on, all right. We're live? All right, so welcome. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ. We're here at Mesa Media Days. We talked to the volleyball teams earlier. Now we've got some of the football teams. First joined by Dobson, and I've got head coach Bill Godsill here. And Coach, thank you for coming out today. And yeah, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how long you've been coaching at Dobson, and kind of how you run your program?
Yeah, this is my fourth year at Dobson, going to my fourth season. These guys were my first freshman class, so really excited to get to see them come through. And you know, they've done a great job battling through all the COVID shutdowns and everything like that. My program is kind of a family type environment. We want to make sure that we're a brotherhood, that we take care of each other, and that we're good citizens before we're good players.
And Coach, who are the two guys you've brought here today with you?
We have our quarterback kicker, Jordan Legg, here, and our running back safety, Jay Sean Kinney.
Perfect. And is it senior and junior?
Senior.
Senior. Okay, so both seniors.
Our two captains right here.
Perfect.
Captains right here.
So two captains. So what do you guys have to say just about Coach and how you've gotten to know him over the last few years, battling through all this adversity and everything?
Man, we've created a huge bond. Like, the adversity that we face is insane, and we just stick through it together, and we've all just created just a huge bond. This is a great guy. He's a great coach. I'm so glad to have him as my head coach, and I wouldn't want anyone else to have that job.
Yeah, for sure. He's taken care of us since day one. Since I've came in the program, he's all I've known. So he's definitely building us to be a product we're going to be proud of on the field.
So quarterback and kicker, Jordan, which one do you enjoy more?
Man, a lot of people ask me that. I love it. It's whatever I'm doing best. So 1 week it's quarterback, 1 week it's kicker. Sometimes it's both. Like, it just depends.
Funny story. His freshman year, he goes, "Coach, I'm your kicker." And I said, "Well, then why are you in QB drills?" "Oh, I also play a little quarterback too, but I'm a kicker." And now he likes to lead with quarterback first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I like quarterback probably the most. I have a lot of fun there. So.
What do you think over the last couple years has been the most important lesson you've learned in this football program?
Man, just to be patient. You know, we've faced a lot of stuff. You know, last year we had a COVID shutdown in the middle of our season, and I just had to be patient. And we had a few bumps in the road, but we just had to get back on our path, and to be patient is probably the number one thing I'd say I learned.
Absolutely. And what about yourself?
To be consistent, for sure. Battle through that adversity and just keep on rolling, keep on going, and don't lose hope in what we're trying to build here.
What do you guys think? And I'll start with you, Coach. What do you think about your schedule this year coming up?
We'll play whoever they put in front of us. But we're excited to get in a different region this year. It's some new blood to see, and facing some different teams. We have an opportunity on a Thursday night, the 22nd of September, to have an honor game for the military and first responders against Perry. Coach Ortiz and I have been talking about it. We're excited about this. We've got some. We're gonna have some good challenges this year, and it's exciting for us.
We're gonna have a good season. We're excited. It's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be a great way to go out our senior year, and we're just gonna keep on working.
I want to have a little bit of fun too. So you guys are two of the captains. Are either of you in control of the Ox? And if not, who is on the team? In weight room or wherever?
I think it's the whole team. The whole team controls everyone.
Is that true, Coach?
Yeah, we rotate around. But we have to have with Coach Stout. We have every Friday is Motown Friday. If we don't have Motown Friday, it ain't right. So.
You guys like Motown Friday?
Oh yeah. It gets a little groove in the weight room, and the music's pretty good. So.
That's awesome. So for you guys, for you two, I know you're looking forward to the season, but are both of you planning to go to college or play in college, or what are your plans after your senior year?
I know for me, I want to go to college. I want to play in college. I mean, that would be an honor, but it's whatever God has in store for me. So I'm ready for the road and wherever it takes me. So, but yeah, for sure going to college. And if I play, that'll be an honor and just a privilege. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to play on the second level. Just waiting for what's in store for me, staying patient. Number one. Just getting ready for the season, worrying about that first and foremost, and then letting whatever comes to me come.
And I just got one more thing for you, Coach, before I open up to questions. If you had to describe both of these guys here, how would you describe them to anybody that doesn't know them and kind of who they are as a person and a player?
Outstanding young men, high character. I would allow them to date my daughter, which is saying a lot because, these two young men, they're like second sons for me. They are wonderful young men that I know I can put my full trust into them completely.
That's awesome. Anybody got any questions out there for anybody up here?
Hi, David Roche, Cronkite News. Coach, you had this quarterback you've seen him develop over the 4 years. How have you what particularly on the field, how you feel like he's really grown in during your time?
His command completely. He now commands the whole offense. He's the vocal leader out there. When he speaks, everybody listens. He knows what to expect every time we call a play. He's become a true student of the game, and it's exciting to watching him develop because he came in middle of his sophomore year and started against Westwood in the middle of his sophomore year and hasn't looked back and has done a heck of a job leading our program.
Any more questions? Anybody out there?
Also with Sports 360 AZ, I feel like every team always has a motto for the year. What's your guys' team slogan or motto to get you through this season?
The overall message is brick by brick. Make sure we leave a foundation behind. This year we have three mottos, and that were part of our bricks. One of them is hold the rope. The other one is own it, and then the last one is earn it.
Awesome.
Brittany Boyer, SB Live Arizona. Wanted to know if there's any maybe younger kids on your team, sophomores or juniors that we haven't had a chance to see yet that you boys or coach you think are going to have a big year that you want us to have on our radar.
Well, we just got a transfer in from Wisconsin that looks pretty good. He just moved here, just started school this past week. He's a good-looking young man, 6'4", and a wide receiver DB. His name's Taurus Eastgate. Great name, Taurus Eastgate. That's an awesome name. And we've got Alan Wallace. He started for us last year on the defensive line. He'll be sharing the load with Jay Sean at running back and also playing defense as well. Elias Murray, he's a slot receiver. He's got great speed, good hands. Will be one of our returners as well. Excited to see some of the freshmen. We might get some freshman opportunities. But we've got a good core at the senior level, but we've got a good supporting cast with our juniors and sophomores as well.
Did you guys want to shout anybody out that you think might have a stellar season or someone you want us to have on our radar?
Elias Murray, for sure. I think he's going to have a huge season. Dude can run. So I think he's going to put some pressure on some defenses and going to make some plays for us. And another linebacker that we have that definitely watch for, Tyler, what's his name?
Chesney.
Can't say that. He's definitely a guy that you should watch on the defensive
why he's going to be supporting the senior linebacker, Michael Delegati, who's definitely a show. And I think those two together in the box is going to make it really difficult. So, yeah, definitely watch out for that guy.
Mark down that pronunciation.
Yeah.
Definitely get it right. You want to know it, right? Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Appreciate
And
it.
good
Oh,
Zach
got one more.
Elvira.
Don't forget.
Yeah, I can't forget.
You
How
can't
can we
forget
forget Zach
Can't
Elvira?
forget Zach.
Go ahead, Zach.
You guys all know me. Jordan, 4.5-star kicker, but you're also the star quarterback. Has your decision changed what you want to do in college?
I mean, it's kind of has. Like, of course, I'll take a kicking scholarship. Honestly, it's just like whatever can get me the best schooling, because that's what I mean. I'm going to college for school, But if I can play, also that'd be amazing. So whatever can help basically pay for my college, and maybe if I can get some football out of that too, that'd be amazing. But yeah, it's just whatever. If it's quarterback, if it's kicking, if it's neither, I'm fine with that. But whatever can pay for my schooling is what I want.
And then one more. This one, Jay Sean, you can jump into. How's the new weight room?
Sweet. Sweet. It's really sweet. I love it.
Yeah, the new bars we got, everything we got in there, gets us pumped up to go in there. We go in there, see the Dobson Mustangs on there. We're ready to roll, ready to go with the new racks. Have everybody ready. Everybody's fighting for a rack. Everybody wants to get on the new rack.
They want the new rack.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants to get the new bars. So, the weight room mentality is changing because, we got this new thing in there and everybody's excited to get stronger and get better.
Awesome. Anyone else? All right. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. I think up next we've got Westwood coming in. Maybe. Cool. Take a quick break, I guess. All right, welcome back to Mesa Media Days. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ. Next up now, we've got Westwood High School here. I've got Coach Brandon Large with me. And Coach, can you just introduce a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with the program and kind of how you run things?
Yeah, so this is my first year here as a head coach. I spent my last 9 years at Higley High School as an offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. I'm a Westwood alumni, so I'm excited to be back. I've been on campus since January. And here we have James Wright, he's a senior quarterback, and we have Winston Timey Covey, he's a senior linebacker.
Awesome. So you guys, I mean, what have you been learning from Coach so far as he's been kind of getting acclimated and getting ready for his first year coaching you guys?
So from Coach, I've learned that transitioning from a defensive end to a quarterback has been super crazy, and Coach has just been helping me with that because he was a quarterback himself and a quarterback coach, and so it's been a lot easier having a super good quarterback coach to help me with that, and so I've really appreciated that.
Absolutely.
I think Coach has helped really us and a lot of the younger people strengthen our mental toughness. Like, he's really helped us push harder throughout everything, throughout practices, lifts, all that.
What went into the switch from defensive end to quarterback? Was it your decision? Was it your decision? How'd that work out?
So last year I was defensive end and I was the backup quarterback, and so but I was mainly defensive end. But I've transitioned my focus to quarterback strictly, and so that's been what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, so James is coming from defensive end. Last year we had a 3-year starter, Gavin Materno, and he was really, really good. And so James is the type of guy who will do anything to help the team, right? And so there was a need for him to play defensive end, and so he jumped in and did it. Since I've been here, he's been fully committed to trying to earn the starting quarterback position. So yeah, that's kind of the timeline of how it went down.
Yeah, throughout today too, and just being around some of these schools for a while, I noticed in the Mesa district there's a lot of alumni coming back to coach, and now you're able to do that. What does it mean to you to be able to come back to your former high school?
It means a lot. It's a lot of fun. When this job opportunity came up, it was something that I was really excited about, something that I put a lot of time and effort into as far as preparing for this job. And so it means a lot that Mr. Pond and Mr. Gilmore and Mr. Eubanks believed in me and thought that I would be a good fit here. So.
And for you two, what do you think the culture is of this team? What's fun about this team? Is there anything that sets you guys different maybe from different teams you've been on or anything like that?
Yeah, so this team's been really crazy, really special because we feel like we're more connected together. We're bonding way better than I have in past teams, and so that's been really cool to see.
Same for what James goes, and we just have a lot of diversity within our groups. There's a lot of different cultures, and we all bring everything all together.
What's the music like in weight rooms or practices? Are you in charge, coach? Are you guys in charge? Is someone on the team in charge?
I am not in charge of the music in the weight room. Coach Lick sometimes will do it. We have a linebacker, Braden Adams, who sometimes will play some music in the weight room. It's typically not me, though.
Okay, not your style. What style of music is it usually?
It's everything. We listen to literally anything.
Yeah. In our locker room, my boy Sean Seeley plays Elvis every morning. Every morning.
Have you guys seen the movie?
Yes, we have.
You like it?
I have not.
You have not seen it.
But I hear Elvis every morning in the locker room.
That's great. For you two as well, I know you're heading into this season. You got a lot going on, but looking forward, what are your plans after high school?
So I want to go on a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so that's a big goal of mine. And yeah.
And I'm trying to get to a 2-year or 4-year school so I can continue football. And I hope Coach Lodge can help me get there.
Absolutely. And Coach, for you, what do you think about your schedule, looking at it as you get ready for your first games?
Something I like about our schedule is I think that we can be very competitive against all of the teams that we're playing against. I think we have an opportunity to go out and win a lot of games and start the program in the right direction, start taking us in the right direction. So.
And for your program, and I'm going to open up to questions after this, is there a motto that you guys kind of live by? Is there something that you've tried to instill in these guys coming in?
This year, the entire athletic department at Westwood has adopted the Character Matters curriculum, and this year the phrase or the quote is "Make it count." So that's kind of what we're going with right now is "Make it count." Right now we're talking about maintain, but yeah. make it count is our motto for the year.
And what does that mean to you two, just hearing that and kind of trying to embody that, as being leaders on this team?
Yeah, that's been really, really cool because we have a goal every single day and something that we're striving for, and that's just a good reminder of what we need to work towards.
Absolutely sweet. Any questions out there?
So I know Westwood's undergoing a little bit of a facelift. It's not new, it's been in the works for quite a bit, but you're also a little bit of a newer addition to the team. So, the change on campus, the change within the program, the change within athletics, how do you guys feel like it's kind of helping you move towards a new Westwood and leave behind the legacy that Westwood had in the past of, not necessarily being the school in Mesa, to trying to put yourselves back up there as one of the top schools?
So when I was here as a student, Westwood was very, very competitive. We went to the semifinals my sophomore year, quarterfinals my senior year, and we were very, very competitive. And we're trying to get back to that spot. And I think Mr. Pond and Mr. Gilmore have a great vision for this. That's part of the reason that I'm here. I believe in their vision and I believe in what they're trying to do. And obviously the facilities and all that is we're getting huge upgrades, right? We just got the turf field. We just put $70,000 into the weight room. Like, these guys are committed to making this great. So.
Can you guys feel like you can see the difference within the program, the excitement to be at Westwood rather than wishing that they would have gone to a different program or maybe not being as committed? Are you guys feeling like more of your teammates are being more bought in and more fully proud to be a Westwood Warrior?
I think they are. Like, if you just see everybody, like, the looks on their face, like, they're happy to be at football. Like, they can't wait to go to practice. Like, they can't wait to get in that weight room. Like, Coach Lodge has just put that on us that, like, we need to get it and we got to make it count, like he said. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely see not only the school, but just our players and all the other sports around campus, how the excitement around everything and how everything is moving up. And so, really.
Right now we have 150 kids in the football program. We took 130 to football camp this summer.
Wow.
There is some excitement around the community and around the school with what's going on. So.
Where'd y'all have camp?
We went to Heber at Mogollon High School.
Okay. What's the memory from camp you'll take with you forever? There's always something. It's camp.
We ran the hill. That's probably going to be my favorite memory of camp.
Favorite memory?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be just the one that scarred you forever.
It'll be both.
Coach, I know it's been a pretty special moment headed back to your alma mater here, and especially snagging your first head coaching job at Westwood. But one of the best parts about becoming a head coach is putting together a staff. You brought some really good coaches over from your time at Higley, and you snagged some other coaches at some other schools. How have those guys helped you transition to your first year as head coach?
So I got hired, like I said, in December, and I was able to bring my defensive coordinator over in January with me at the same time. And so I was installing offense, he was installing defense, and so that transition has been tremendous. Having him on campus with me right away, being able to help me in the weight room, being able to help me establish the culture and teach the kids how to work and install the offense and defense. That's been great. And then we brought over Coach Curtis from Perry, and he's been a great addition. We brought over several other coaches from Higley High School with me, and the staff has come together really, really nicely. And all of us are committed to making this a great experience for the players, and we all want what's best for the players.
Yeah, when I was talking to you at the scrimmage, man, I told you I was so impressed with the depth of your team, and just the roster numbers. And I know that's across the board with Westwood athletics right now too. But here's a personal question: you have a pretty loaded quarterback room. Do you have the best arm out of all those guys?
I still go out there and I throw it around with them a little bit. These guys will tell you I'll demonstrate some throws and I'll demonstrate some things, and I don't throw as much as them, so I don't think I can last as long. But for one throw, I think I got it.
So are we going to see a video of just who's going to throw the furthest downfield at some point in the quarterback room?
We might.
You got to just one last throw before it gives out a little bit.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Do you guys? Oh, do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Is there anyone that you guys want to shout out that we might not know about that you expect to have a big year and might be flying under the radar right now?
I think our center, Weston Whiting, is going to have a really good year this year. He's been a 2-year starter on varsity and is going into his senior year. hoping for a big year. I think he will have a big year.
All right.
Our wide receiver Nikita McCrimmon and his little brother Savion. Our boys are both nice. Look out for them.
Yeah, those guys that they just mentioned are all studs. We're very young on the defensive line, and I think some of those guys are going to end up being very, very good players. There's a kid named James Marshall, who's a specimen. He's going to be a sophomore, or he is a sophomore now. He's going to be a very, very good player. In our defensive backfield, Ross Driggs is a returning starter. He'll get some time on offense as well. So Ross and Nick are guys that are both going to play offense and defense for us. So yeah, a couple of those guys.
I always love it when someone describes someone as a specimen.
He is.
That really means that they're super special. So I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Coach. What's something that in the past couple months, first couple months on the job, that you kind of learned about the job that maybe you didn't know you were getting yourself into when you were hired? Something like some sort of like task or thing you really have to focus on.
So my time at Higley was great, and it really did prepare me for this because Coach Zuby was a great mentor to me, and he allowed me to participate and to have a lot of the tasks that the head coach has and be involved in some of those responsibilities. But something that I guess I didn't really prepare for was the amount of like paperwork and fundraising requests and stuff like that you have to do. I felt really confident about a lot of the football side of being a head coach and even a lot of like the booster club side of being a head coach, but I didn't really have to deal with too much of the paperwork side, and so that's been something that can be a little bit tedious. So.
Great. Anything else? All right. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Absolutely. That's fine. All right, welcome back to Mesa Media Days. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ. We've got Mountain View joining us, and I've got head coach Joe Germain. You're entering your second year now here at Mountain View. So can you tell everybody just a little bit about your experience so far coaching in Mountain View and your coaching experience overall?
Yes, thank you for having us. First of all, we got some great young men here representing our program that we're really excited about for you guys to get to know. I love Mountain View. I grew up in the Mesa area. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was grow up to be a Mountain View Toro. I think there's an unparalleled tradition that Mountain View has in its history, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that. Had such a wonderful experience, and I'm just really excited about the direction that our campus is going, both academically and athletically. We have amazing leadership at the very top, from our principal to our administration, and they kind of set the tone for the direction that we're going, and just really excited about overall the path that we're going down. So we're really excited to start year 2, me being there, and it's because of these guys that kind of make it so enjoyable.
And Coach, so everybody knows, can you introduce the guys that you brought along today and maybe say a few words about them as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have Jackson Bogle here. He's a sophomore, actually, for us, and I think that's one of the really cool things about our team this year. Every year, high school football, you're going to graduate really, key players that play a lot for you, and that was the same for us. And we got some really great returning players like Cy Candielli, who's going to be a senior, and Jackson Bowers, who's going to be a senior. Cy plays offensive line for us. Jackson plays tight end, but can also play quarterback, wide receiver, kick returner. Cy could probably do the same. He's so athletic. But going back to Jackson Bogle right here, we have an awesome young group of players that I think we're really, really excited about. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 10 sophomores that start for us this year on our team on both sides of the ball. And Jackson, just through his body of work and who he is and how he carries himself, has really established himself as a leader in our program, hence why he's here with us today.
And also has the hair going on too. You got some of the best hair on the team? Is that true? You got the best hair?
A lot of kids.
Jackson?
Yeah. I talked a lot about Jackson Bogle here, but Cy Candielli, he's if you ask anybody on our football team who are the top 5 hardest workers in your program, they're going to say this guy, without a doubt. Amazing athlete, 4.0 plus. I'm probably not doing you justice. What's your GPA?
It is 4.0.
4.0, okay. 4.0 GPA. Going to play college football on Saturdays for sure. And kind of anchors our offensive line. Definitely a leader in our program. Jackson Bowers, obviously everybody knows about Jackson. Just an amazing talent, amazing player, and just a huge asset to our program. Great for us in the locker room, on campus, a true leader, for our team, and everybody knows kind of what he brings to the table. So we're obviously very fortunate that we have him in our program.
Absolutely. And for all 3 of you, or any of you 3, what's it been like playing under Coach Joe Germain now, and just kind of getting ready for this next season with him?
Definitely just a lot of discipline and just doing things the right way. I mean, it definitely helps out a lot. Just you're not allowed to lollygag and just do what you want. I mean, you definitely feel like you need to do things the exact way. And I mean, it definitely helps us as a team just to be able to do things the exact way because we get things done.
Absolutely. Do you guys have anything to say too?
We have some of the best coaches in the Valley. Probably got Coach White, Coach Germain, Coach Holcomb. They're all NFL stars, and they work us so hard every day. They don't take anything for granted. We work our tails off and be ready for this season.
What are you guys most looking forward to about this season? Is it a particular game? Is it just a road trip? Like, what are you all most looking forward to?
I feel like we're looking forward to the competition this year. A lot of it, the theme this year has been about competing, getting us all together, working hard, just staying together as a team and getting after it. And honestly, I feel like that's this season with our schedule, it's going to bring a lot of that. So,
Just playing against the big dogs. I mean, throughout my high school career, I really haven't played the big dogs, so I can't wait just to play the best of the best.
And doubling down on that too, so last year you guys had a really, really great season, and it was a really good first year head coaching this team. What's been different this offseason compared to last year? Is there something you've learned? Is there something else you're implying, or is it just more of the same now?
Well, I think we got an amazing area, a community in Mountain View, and I've just been so impressed about just the caliber of families and young men and women in our community. And I think the interesting thing about this year for us is we kind of have more of an off season this year, whereas last year when I became the head coach, it was literally right before spring ball started. So we've kind of done a lot of different staff changes. We've had a lot of new coaches coming in. We had a full off season program, which has been great to kind of go through with our players, and I've just been extremely happy with the work that our players have put in, the body of work to get us to this point.
Could I ask you guys too, so practices, weight rooms, what's that atmosphere like? Is it players on aux? Is it coaches on aux? Like, how's that atmosphere been this summer? I know you guys are working hard, but what's it like?
I'm in control of aux. I mean,
What are you playing?
It's all got to be clean. So I mean, sometimes rock, some raps. We find some clean raps. So,
Anything that gets the team going.
Yeah, just get us pumped, you know.
Does it get you going too, Coach? Some of the music, or?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know what aux meant when you said that, so I completely defer to these guys on that. But yeah, we're talking about music. Yeah, Jackson does. He does have the kind of the lead role in selecting it, and he does do a good job of selecting clean music. Yes.
It's important. It's important sometimes. Looking at your schedule this year, is there anything that you've got circled in particular, or kind of just how do you feel overall about your schedule so far? And I know you guys are playing maybe some tougher teams this year than last year, so how you feeling?
I think we're really humbled by the schedule that we have. It's extremely challenging. We play a lot of good teams. Our region this year that was realigned is extremely difficult. And then our non-region games are just as difficult. We travel to California to play a Helix team that's 2-0 right now. That's rated number 5 in San Diego. So we very much respect the teams that we're going against. They're great programs. They're great players. Very well coached teams. But to be honest with you, I think Cy hit the nail on the head. Our focus this year is not necessarily who we're playing. It's about us. It's about us competing. It's about us bringing our very best intent and effort and execution in every single play. And that's really what we're going to focus on this year. And if we can be disciplined enough and mentally tough enough to do that every single play, to be in the moment and do our best in the moment, that's what we're going to gauge our success off of.
Right. And then last thing I've got before I open up to questions as well, is there a motto or a phrase that you guys are living by this season? Is there something you instill every year, or is there something different this year that everybody tries to live by?
Our Toro pledge.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so in around during spring ball, we had this, Coach Jermaine brought us this Mountain View Toro football pledge. We all had to memorize it by a certain time, and now, I mean, there's still kids memorizing it. We had kids doing it to this day at practice, and it's something that we all live by in how we play the game. There's one of those lines that says, we play the game hard and relentlessly with exact execution, and that's how we live by it every practice. When we mess something up, we always go back to saying, we got to do it back with the exact execution.
That's great. Anything else to add on to that at all?
I mean, our camp theme was just compete. So I mean, just each week, just 1-0, just win the week. So focus, control what you can control.
We at camp talked a lot about a competitor's mindset going into the season. A lot of the focus of practices and kind of practices to come has been focusing on the play that's at hand, focusing on everything that is at hand, leaving everything behind you. Don't worry about what's happening in the future, what has already happened. You just focus on that play, that moment, win the moment, and that's how you compete.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. We'll open it up to questions. Anybody got some questions to ask? Go ahead, David.
David Rhodes, Cronkite News. Cy and Jackson, being older guys, being seniors, and having 10 freshmen on the team, what kind of a leadership role have you guys had to step up and take?
I mean, I love all the underclassmen that are on the team. They're just all great dudes. So I mean, I definitely just take them under my wing, just try to teach them and just bring them up to the varsity level. I mean, they're definitely all stepping up, and they're all just great players that definitely are going to make an impact for this team. So I mean, just having them, they don't seem like they're sophomores. They definitely step up and play like they're seniors. So I mean, just having them, I love them.
Yeah, I got to agree with Jackson there. We got a lot of young talent on this team, and I feel like that we've tried to take them under our wing, bring them up to the high standard that we set the bar at, and I feel like they've adapted pretty well. So.
All right, Coach Jermaine, I think you touched on it briefly a little bit, but I just noticing the change in year 2. You've really put your staff together this year. I remember going out to practice 2 weeks ago and talking to Jack, and his face lit up, talking about having a player like Danny White, mentoring him, and you don't just have coaches that have college experience. You have a ton of NFL experience on your staff now. What has that meant to have those guys on your staff?
Yeah, I'm pretty humbled with the football staff that we have, and not just on our varsity team. We got great JV coaches, a great staff put together. Our freshman coaches are all new this year as well. But yeah, our varsity level, obviously you think of Danny White, who was the greatest athlete in Arizona history, and then after he was awarded that, said, I'm actually the second best athlete in my family, to his dad, which is kind of funny. But Yeah, he just brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and wisdom to what we're doing, not only on the X's and O's side of things, but just program building. His title is actually Director of Player Development in our program, so just his impact on our guys, both on and off the field, is tremendous. Robert Holcomb, an amazing all-state player here in the state of Arizona, NFL guy, has a Super Bowl ring, played 8 years as a running back, is on our staff. He's incredible. I would say these guys would maybe say that Coach Holcomb might be their favorite coach. He doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, it is extremely impactful. And then, you look at Jeremy Davis, our wide receiver coach. He's actually interning right now in training camp with the Philadelphia Eagles as a wide receiver coach. He works with our wide receivers. So that's just so incredible. We want to try to pride ourselves in Mountain View on being the absolute best in developing players, both on and off the field. And I think our coaching staff kind of reflects that.
And you talk about developing players. I think another thing that I really noticed the last 16 months, your feeder program. I mean, it's monstrous. And not only that, you personally and some of your coaching staff and the kids are hands-on with that. You have the youth night. You had a community night, this past week, that bringing back the Mountain View alums and having that community. Why are you prioritizing bringing the community back, getting back to the Toro Way?
Because I genuinely feel, in my humble opinion, that the Mountain View tradition is as rich as any in the country. You just look at the history of our program and what it was. And it's been a little while since it's been there. But I think we have the leadership at the top to try to get us back to, in the direction of where it used to be. But why wouldn't we try to reestablish the connection with all of the Toro legends that kind of came before all of us? That, a tradition is passed down from generation to generation, and we'd be foolish if we didn't learn or invite back the generation that was so great before us. We had a Legends Night last night. We had 40 of former All-State Toro football players dating back to the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even in the late 2000s come back and just be a part and experience that. And I thought it was a wonderful night just to kind of celebrate, our campus, our school, it's just really exciting to be a part of.
How impactful is that for you guys as players to kind of see not just the coaching staff, but also what he was just saying about bringing back the alumni and stuff? I mean, and that's probably not something that a lot of schools do, so I'm just curious for you guys what kind of impact that makes on your mentality.
I mean, it kind of makes you want to just play as they used to play. I mean, just play to that elite level of just winning championships. It makes you want to just feel what they had. It makes you want to just be where they were at one point.
I feel like it's honestly, it's just a heartwarming thing, kind of having them there. You get to see all these old connections, all these old, it's an old tradition almost. You're kind of bringing it back. You get to pass it on to the new generation, like Coach said. And I feel like it's just one of those things that it's kind of crucial in building that mentality back.
So will you guys be back in 30 years to do the same thing?
Of course. I think so, yeah. Of course.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Any further questions? Great. All right. Thank you so much for taking your time today, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
the opportunity, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. They're going to grab you. Yes, sir. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, welcome back to Mesa Media Days. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ. We've got the Skyline football team here with us. We've got head coach Adam Schiermeyer joining me. And coach, this is, I believe, your first year at Skyline, correct? So
Yes, sir.
how's everything been going so far?
Better than expected. Yeah, kids are buying into what we're doing and working hard and not getting a whole lot of pushback on some of the discipline, and they're wanting to be pushed hard and responding pretty well to it.
Can you introduce the two players out here that maybe outdressed you today as well?
This is our game day attire. This is Jace Harden and Kai Kolstad, and they're senior captains for us, and very, very good leaders in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom.
So being two of the leaders on this team, what are some of the things you've seen from Coach so far as he's been instilling his way running the program over the last few months?
Definitely a lot more discipline than we had before, keeping kids in line, in the weight room, in the classroom, and something we noticed is even on the field at the scrimmage, just being in order, having everyone helmets on. There's a lot of discipline in the program.
Right. Anything else you'd like to add on to that as well?
He demands a lot of perfection, which I think is a good thing. A lot of the kids in the past have just been kind of lazy and walking around, but coaches came in and fixed that problem.
So no more of that. So what are some of the bright spots you've seen so far then, Coach, just getting to know these guys over the last few months?
They're great kids, and they're extremely, extremely hard workers. And they, like I said, they wanted to be pushed, and they want that discipline piece, and they're responding very well to it. But you know, they're great humans, and you know, I feel very lucky and very fortunate to be a part of the program and leading them.
So you guys have talked a lot about just the discipline that's being instilled in. So what's the atmosphere like at weight room in practice? Is there still time where you guys are playing music and having a lot of fun? Is it more so like we're just putting our head in the dirt? Like, is there a balance? How's it been?
I mean, I think there's a good balance. There's days, I mean, it took a long time to get the music in the weight room, and they earned it. And, you know, we have days where we play it, days where we don't.
Do they control it when they do?
No, Coach Schiermeyer controls it. And they'll get there someday. But they're hard workers. I enjoy being around them every second of the day. They make me laugh. They make me cry. They give me gray hairs. But no, it's been a very, very humbling, good experience to start with. So it's been very fun.
And I got to go back to music for one more second. So what are you playing when you're in charge of the music?
90s rock.
And do you guys like that? Do you get down to it?
Oh yeah. There was the one day he played country, and that.
Set the mood, man. Yeah. No, it's someday they'll get their choice someday.
So for you two, what's the thing you're most looking forward to this season, and just kind of embracing a new culture and, you know, getting ready for these games?
Just having the chance to come out and prove what Skyline can be, not having the chattering at each other, chattering at the other team, all the, you know, kind of things that you don't want to see out of a upstanding program. Just the ability to see that and have other schools and people around the state realize Skyline is a place to be at.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to add on to that as well?
You got it.
You got it right on the head. Nice. Coach, when you look at your schedule, what stands out to you this year?
You know, and just piggybacking on what Jace just said, you know, he didn't talk about the wins and losses. He talked about the chance to compete. And I think with our schedule, that's what it gives us. It gives us a chance to compete. And I know at some point we will be successful. And I think with the type of leadership we're getting from these guys, you know, the present, it could be present, and it could be now. And so, you know, every game's going to be a dogfight, but like he said, we'll have the chance to compete, and that's, I think, in terms of schedule, is kind of the thing I'm looking forward to, is being able to be in some of these games and hopefully being on the right end of them.
And for us to get to know all of you a little bit more, I know you got your season coming up, and there's a lot preparing for that, but looking past it, what are your plans after high school?
I really want to try and play football past high school, going into college, but I really want to go into marketing.
Marketing, okay.
I feel like kind of good at that, as I've been told before. But yeah, I enjoy playing football past there. I want to go out of state, and just hoping to have a good time.
That's awesome.
Pretty much the same. If I get the chance to play football in college, if I were to major in something, probably engineering or marketing, business.
And Coach, so what's the advice you give to guys when that is possibly their goal to play in college, or maybe they're torn and like, I want to go to school, but I also maybe want to play football? What advice do you have for guys on your team?
Well, I think for especially for guys like Jason and Kai, there's a school out there for them. They get it done in the classroom, and you know, I think that in terms of pursuing, if it's something they want to pursue, I mean, we're going to do everything in our power to put those schools, those coaches in front of them to give them that opportunity. You know, I definitely think it's it's student athlete, and so the academics plays a huge piece in athletics, and you know, it's a standard in our program that they sit in the front of the classroom. It's standard that they stay up on their grades. We do grade checks every Wednesday. We make sure our kids are held accountable if they're falling behind. We get them help when they need it. We want them to advocate for themselves when they're struggling. But yeah, it's we want to give them that opportunity to get whatever they want.
And last thing I've got before I open up to questions, is there a specific motto or phrase that this team lives by for this season that you guys have come up with?
Attitude and effort.
Attitude and effort. What does that mean to you?
Put everything out there and let the cards fall where they may. And don't get snappy when the cards don't fall the right places.
That's the important part, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great, that's awesome. Any questions out there for these guys? Go ahead, Brittany.
So you guys have obviously talked about, I should introduce myself first. Brittany Boyer, SB Live Arizona. You, Coach, have really talked about the discipline that the kids were craving, and it sounds like it's gone way beyond the field into the classroom, really into trying to make them great men. So how do you feel like that's helped restore pride in being a Skyline student athlete within the program for you guys?
Definitely having the ability to walk around school and have kids say, oh my God, they're football players, you know, and not treat us like we're going to be causing problems like was a problem in the past before. Football players might have been messing around in class, not paying attention, but now it's, you know, your teachers come in, they know we have football players in our program. They're not going to be causing trouble. They're not going to be people we have to worry about in the classroom.
Yeah, the same way. I feel a lot better walking around with my Skyline football gear on this year than past years, because like we've had years where some of the younger players choose to act out on campus, and it's just been a lot of trouble for us. So as leaders, like I like to show that I can put out a good example on the field and in the classroom.
And kind of just going off that, obviously it starts with you guys leading by example. Have you noticed it having an impact with the JV and freshman programs, some of their leaders really stepping up and trying to embody what you guys have put forward?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Coach, what's something you've learned about the job that maybe you weren't anticipating having to deal with before getting it?
You know, and coming into the program knowing that it was going to be a process, and I'm not using the word rebuild, but just a process in getting it to look what I envisioned it to look like. Some of the pieces were a little broken, just in terms of accountability, and I think I didn't anticipate once we started getting and moving in the right direction, like Kai and Jay said, now having other people wanting to be a part of it, and you're having to deal with, you know, register my athlete and giving them the physicals and just some of the pieces you wouldn't even imagine that would just consume. It consumed me for about 2 weeks. I mean, and this is after the school year started, where it was just one after another, you know, trying to figure out, okay, let's get them equipment, let's find a locker. We don't have lockers right now because we were getting new ones, and so it was that piece was the one that was consuming me probably the most.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Zach.
For the players, what is it like having a coach like Coach Schiermeyer here that's not afraid to run around with you guys in practice, hustle with you guys, and really set an example?
It's nice. knowing that we have someone behind our back pushing us, that we don't, as one of the coaches, Coach Shermer, brought on, we don't loaf around. We don't miss reps. We don't half work our reps. We don't have the chance. We don't have the opportunity to not put in 100% effort. And when we don't, we know Coach Shermer is going to be right behind us, telling us to put it in.
I have kind of a fun question, and I'm sorry if this gives your coach an idea, but you said that they have to earn their music. So do you ever torture them by maybe playing your rival's fight song just on blast, on repeat in the weight room to kind of motivate them to go harder when they're struggling, or is there anything like that?
I think the country did the trick for most of these guys. I mean, I was enjoying my morning when I did that, but no, but it's definitely a good piece. I could probably put it down on a piece of paper as a reminder. Maybe we'll try and find North Canyon's fight song.
Definitely
play it this week.
I think your motivator is when we do 60 seconds of steel.
There we go.
That is the motivator.
Yeah.
What's that?
Can we get a little breakdown of that?
Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, go ahead, explain it.
So at the end of our workouts, usually twice a week, we do our ab session, and right at the end we do 60 seconds of steel. We get to choose a plate of our weight, and Coach Shermeyer has us sit in the boat position. We have our heels off the ground, we have the plate overhead, and he gives us fun little activities to do by moving the plate around for 60 seconds, and he really amps it up in the last 30 seconds, and that's our motivator to do well.
Are there ever times where you choose a certain weight and then a coach will come by and put something heavier in your hand?
We used to have coaches do that, but now everyone kind of knows we can't
get away.
laser out.
Yeah.
That's the important part. You can't get away with the lightweight.
Yeah, we have green plates and yellow plates, and you know the kids that pick the yellow plates are 25 keys and the green ones are 10, and so not very many people use the yellow plates, and if I see somebody use a yellow plate, I'm going to make sure they use a yellow plate every single time.
So it seems like there's a lot more excitement, because I had gone out to a Skyline practice, I want to say like 2019. It seems like the vibe is just so much different with you guys now. It seems like you guys are excited to be at practice, even though you're working hard and getting pushed really hard. Do you guys feel like you're having a lot of fun and just like you're really truly growing as a unit right now?
Without a doubt. It's definitely more exciting to be at practice. Just coaches now are really trying to become closer with us. It's not like robotic where there's like do your drill. They're interacting with us with the drill, where we conversations back and forth, or they just kind of, we know them and they're starting to get to know us.
Great. If that's all we got, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yep, thank you. All right, welcome back to Mesa Media Day. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ, and now we've got the Mesa High football team with you. We got head coach Chad DeGrenier. And Chad, first off, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your experience at Mesa High as the football coach?
Yeah, this is going into our 4th season here. Got a great group of guys this year, over 50 plus on the varsity program. So our numbers have definitely improved, and got some great players, and really excited about the year. And we have lower levels are doing great, and so just excited about the opportunities we have to go out and compete on Friday night against Corona.
Awesome. And then can you go ahead and introduce the guys that you brought today and maybe say a few words about each of them?
Yeah, this is Mekhi Peters to my right, starting linebacker and playing running back. Was an all-region player last year. He's a junior, expecting great things from him. So he's just a great athlete. Trey Brown, receiver next to him. He had 1,000 yards last year, all-region returner and all-region receiver. So expecting his production to go up toward, hopefully 1,500 yards this year, right, Trey? Yes, sir. Lead the state, and then Manny Pino will be our quarterback and free safety. Been a 2-year starter and just a great athlete again. And then Troy Reynolds, he's starting D-line and starting tackle. Just put on about 30 pounds this offseason and got stronger and just did a great job in the weight room. So just excited about these 4 and what they've done over the past 3 months, and they're excited to get going.
And are all of you guys seniors at this point?
I'm a junior.
Junior?
Yeah, we're all seniors.
And you're all seniors. Okay, so you 3, you've been now, so you're basically his first class because this is your 4th season now, correct? So you were here when he was a freshman. What have you learned from Coach over your high school career then?
I learned that the most important thing that he's preached over the last 4 years being with him is there's 2 types of people in life, winners and losers. You got to be around the people, be around the winners, have a winning attitude all the time, and always work hard.
Anything else you'd guys like to add on about that?
One thing that I've learned from Coach DeGrenier is just play your game, sit back, relax, and just do your thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's bound to happen. Nobody's perfect. Just keep your cool, keep your head, and everything will be good.
Said it all. There you go. So just, over the last few months in this offseason, what is it that's standing out about this year's team so far to you? I know you guys haven't gotten out in a game yet, but that's coming. And so what stands out so far?
I think probably the biggest thing is probably, and I think these guys would agree with me, the culture that now we have in the program. It's completely different. Like you said, first year of these guys have all been with me, so they understand the expectations. So the culture that we have from the players to the staff is just it's great positive energy, and that's what we want to have at Mesa. And so I expect good things to happen this year. And even when we're down, I know that our guys will rally and rally around each other, rally around the coaches, and good things are going to happen. So because of the culture we've created, because of these guys, so that's probably the biggest and most paramount thing that's happened.
So the culture sets the expectations, like you mentioned, 1,500-yard receiving yard is what you're expecting so far this year, right? So what's it going to take for that to happen this year?
A lot of work, hard work. Mostly I think it's trust in my quarterback, trust in my teammates that they're going to do their job, and I know that they will. And, yeah, just hard work. Can't take reps off in practice. Yeah, be coachable.
What specifically is the culture like? I know every team's different in the weight room and practices. Are you guys controlling the music on aux? Is coaches doing it? Is there no music? Like, how's that been playing out this year?
Coaches is letting us get music. It's weight room. We make sure we have the music high, loud. We're all hard working, loud, and like a lot of good energy.
Do one of you 4 have the aux, or is it someone else?
Usually it's us 2.
Us 2? Okay, what are you guys playing?
A lot. A variety. A lot.
What's the go-tos?
We like Young Boy. Feels like it brings us a lot of energy, a lot of that. We always have a lot of that. And Coach Rock, when he's on aux, it's a lot of that rock music, hard metal. Love it.
Do you guys get down with that too?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, good. And do you get down to Young Boy?
Absolutely. I mean, when it's pumping, you got to jump in.
Absolutely. Coach, I mean, looking at your schedule this year, what stands out to you heading into the season?
Stand out is just we got to win the close games. I mean, last year we were 1-3 in the close games, and this year we need to be, obviously we want to be 4-0. But if we can flip that script, then we're right there in the playoffs. So, and I think with these guys and with the culture we've created and the trust that we have in each other, we're going to flip the script this year.
And then for you guys, I mean, what are you most looking forward to about this season in particular?
Looking forward to playing with the whole team, and like playing with all the new bonds that I've created, and great coaching staff, new coaching staff, a bunch of new coaches, and just working, winning.
I'm looking forward, since my senior year, I'm looking forward, this is my last ride with a lot of my guys, and I'm looking forward to see how a lot of the younger guys have developed and like how much work they put in. So I'm looking forward to see how that translates to the season and just playing with them.
Absolutely.
Just like how he said, last year, last ride with my boys. So it's looking forward to that. 4 years coming. We're all starters now on varsity. So it's been a long time coming. A lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifices made to this point. And I'm just beyond ecstatic, beyond excited to see what comes.
So you mentioned last ride. Is that part of maybe the motto or phrase that you guys are living by this season? Or is there something else that you guys have been kind of writing on the walls or saying a lot to get you through this season?
Me personally, that's what I've been keeping in my mind. Just last ride is I gotta leave it all on the table now. Can't have no regrets. Like coach has been saying and been preaching to us. Can't live with no regrets in the future. Not now. And just put it all out there.
I say one thing that we've been preaching since we went to camp is trust. Trusting one another, trusting coaches, trusting our brothers to our left and our right, whether it's a junior, senior, sophomore, freshman, doesn't matter. We've got to have trust in one another. We've got to trust that the teammates to my left of me and the right of me is going to make the plays and do their jobs, and I've had full trust in everybody on the team.
Yeah, what he said, just everyone, the whole team, balls to the walls, 100% every play.
And that's pretty much all the things you've been instilling in them this year and throughout the years, or is there more?
I'm so happy they've been listening. It all came out. Coach's like, hey, you're going to talk to them before? I'm like, no, I think they got it. And so I'm tickled pink.
Yeah, there you go. Write that one on the wall too. Just, you know. Awesome. Well, that's
make fun of me later.
Yeah, that one's going to stick for sure. It's on the stream too. So that's pretty much all I've got. Anybody got some questions out here? Go ahead, Brittany.
Brittany Boyer with SB Live Arizona. So who are some of the players that we might not know about right now that maybe are younger, sophomores, even a junior who kind of played a little bit last year that you think are really going to break out and come into their own this season for the Jackrabbits?
I think for sure, guys, David Gillis, he's a junior this year. He's been putting a lot of work in, he's a devil in the details. He pays attention. He's always here on time. I don't think he's missed a day at all ever this offseason. So I'm looking forward to see how he does this season because he's putting in a lot of hard work.
Does anyone else want to add someone?
Tristan Torres. He's basically my right-hand man on the O-line. If I have a problem, I can usually ask him to take care of it.
I'd say two, a sophomore, Griffin Yamamoto, started on varsity as a freshman. Had a couple mistakes here and there, but nobody's perfect. But for the most part, he has 2 more years ahead of him, a lot of space to improve, and he's up there. And another one I'd say is Leonardson's here, running back. He's been putting in a lot of work in the weight room. I think put on 15 pounds from last year, runs downhill, just great running back. He plays with no regrets, leaves no regrets on the field, leaves everything out there. So it's 2 people that I'm looking forward to.
And then Khalil Burley and Cash Merrill, they're both transfers, but they've been working really hard this summer, and I think they're both going to thrive this season. The last 5 games.
Wait, so
they
have to wait?
They do have to wait, but Cash Merrill is a quarterback, and Burley is like running back, H-back, like DN, like he's just a big body.
So keep an eye out in the back half of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Hi, David Roche, Cronkite News. So we heard a little bit from the Mesa volleyball girls about the cemetery trip that Mesa High School takes. What has your guys' experience been with that and that sort of giving back to the community?
It's been good. I've been doing this for the last 3-4 years, so it's been great. It feels good. It's usually a fun experience. Go out there, laugh, talk, good, bond with the teammates in other sports out there and other clubs out there. And it's just, yeah, it's a good tradition. Love it.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. Everyone around is having fun, picking up trash, cleaning up the cemetery. It's a great tradition. I'm a third generation at Mesa, and my older brother just turned 31 yesterday. He did it when he was in high school, from his sophomore year to his senior year. So it's been a long time that we've been doing this.
I just love carrying on the tradition. For Zito Ishikawa, hearing the Ishikawa brothers come and talk to us about Zito and their family and how the football team was and all that. It's just, every year we hear it, but it's just a great learning experience. It never gets old. I love hearing from the Ishikawa brothers.
I just like helping out the community. I get a warm feeling inside every time I do it.
Is that something that's really big in your program, how it's helping out and giving back as much as they can?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where it all starts. I mean, a lot of coaches sacrifice for these guys, and these guys sacrifice for the community and stuff like that. And that's what makes the world go round. And at the end of the day, it's not just about football. It's about it's about life, teaching life skills and stuff like that. And we're just blessed to be able to coach these guys and then play the football game on Friday night. So I'm really proud of these guys.
Absolutely. Any more questions out there? No? All right. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and we're getting ready to wrap up Mesa Media Day today. I'm Jordan Spurgeon with Sports 360 AZ. Last but certainly not least, we've got Red Mountain here and head coach Kyle Ender. So you're entering your first year as the head coach here. I mean, what's it been like for you this offseason and just trying to keep this program rolling?
Yeah, it's been a really good experience. Being a part of it for the last 10 plus years, being an alumni there it's been a pretty easy transition as far as not going anywhere new. But I got kids like these guys that make it easy for me. Really good coaching staff. So it's been a smooth transition, and we're excited for the season.
And go ahead while you're at it, just go ahead and introduce them and maybe say a few words about them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Lennox Lawson, kind of our do-it-all player on offense. Might see him a little bit on defense. Running back, receiver, kick returner, punt returner. I think he had over 1,500 all-purpose yards last year. And then down here at the end is Tanner DeMassa. Tanner DeMassa is our do-it-all player on defense. He'll line up at safety, defensive end, outside linebacker. 80-plus tackles last year. They're both leaders on this program, seniors.
So you guys are coming off a really good season last year, but what's maybe felt a little bit different this offseason coming in with Coach?
Obviously, we have Enders, so that's a huge thing. I mean, he's been our DC. I liked him a lot. I was just waiting for it to finally happen, and just our chemistry just kept building. I mean, we have a starting and a coming back quarterback again. We haven't had that in a long time in Red Mountain. And just Carter, I've been playing with him forever. Jacoby, Tanner, just all of them. We've just been playing forever. Our last year to go do something.
They were out there talking about Pop Warner games and stuff. So a lot of them have been playing together for a really long time.
Yep.
The senior class.
Right. What does that mean to have been playing together for so long? Because that sort of experience I can personally relate to when I was a senior, when everybody played together and it actually surmounted in the goal that we all dream of in a ring. So do you think that's something that having that camaraderie over the years is going to be powerful for you guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna just help us even more to go get what we need to get, and I'm just super excited to see what we're gonna do this year.
Yeah, and I'd say it's just more about having fun too. Like we all know each other. We've known each other forever. We go out there and we play for each other. So it's like, yeah.
What's the atmosphere been like in weight rooms and practices? Is it any different this year than you guys remember before? I know obviously you've been in the program for a bit. Are you guys playing your own music? Is Coach playing music? How's it all working out?
I mean, we always working hard like we do every year, but it's a little different. I feel like we just I don't know, I just feel like we're more family this year. Like we're all closer. Like actually want to be there and be like friends with each other and not just like be teammates, but want to make each other a better person too.
Yeah, I'd say it's like a relaxed environment while we're all working at the same time. Like everyone's comfortable with each other. Everyone's having a great time, but we're all working hard towards like the same goal, which is a ring.
And the music in the weight room, to double down on that, how's that working?
I leave that to the weights coaches. I don't know what you guys got.
Okay. Yeah, we got a little new weight coach. She kind of controls that a little bit.
Does it rock?
Some days it's like a different
Depends
genre
on the
every
day. Yeah, sometimes I go in there and they're not impressed with the music choices, but in the locker room they bump their music and do what they want to do.
Yeah. What have you learned so far, just kind of stepping in from that defensive coordinator role to now this role, just about this team, this year? What have you learned?
I've been always really ingrained and deep down into it. Like I said, they're real tight. It's a tight knit group, and I mean that's huge. There's teams that are really talented and they got guys that are driving 50 miles to practice and they're all over the place. This group, a lot of them played together for a long time. I get a sense the deeper I'm ingrained with these guys that they're more than just teammates. Like they're friends and they have each other's back and they're trying to help each other out more than, hey, it's classroom stuff they're trying to help each other out with and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a major key to be a successful team.
Absolutely. So when you look at your schedule, what stands out? I know you guys are opening up in San Diego.
Correct.
It's Modern Day Catholic. So how are you feeling about the schedule this year?
I love the schedule. I mean, that's what we always talk about. You want to be the best, you got to play the best. We get Chandler, we get a redemption at Highland, who took us out in the semis last year. Obviously, we had the rivalry with Mountain View. Just some new opponents, some new blood. We got South Point coming down. They've joined our region. We got O'Connor. Don't know a lot about them. And then the experience, I'll never forget senior night a few years, 5 years ago. We used to go and play in California. That was all the seniors' favorite opportunity. They were like, my favorite moment was when we went to California, and it was a win or lose thing. So it's really cool that we get to go back there with this class and build that memory. We were just there a month ago for football camp at Kowloon. So yeah, as far as the schedule, I know we were all excited when we saw it. We want to play the top tier teams, and that's what we got.
For real, can't wait. The schedule, I just want to go surprise people for sure.
What's the driving force for you guys this year? I know, like you mentioned last year, you got that taste in the postseason, and now you guys are looking to push forward. So what's sort of the driving force for you?
I mean, it's just like our last year. I mean, we were so close last year. We just got to finish through and make it this year and get it done.
Yeah, I'd say it's just playing for each other. Like I said before, like Lennox said, we've all played with each other for so long. We all know each other. We want to play for each other. It's like, just go get it done.
2019, in overtime, we took a loss in the 6A state championship, so that was a taste. I know, like, Lennox was he was there playing special teams as a sophomore. So they've been around that culture and seen what it is. Like, you get a taste of it. And then we had the COVID year, then last year playing in the semifinals. it's not just about that. It's an experience. It's something you can talk about, like you had mentioned yourself. That's something that they can carry with them. Nobody can take that from them forever.
Yeah. No, it's humbling, and now you want to finish and really satisfy that taste you've gotten, right?
Yeah, for real. Gotta just finish it.
Is
Yeah.
there?
I said, can't wait to play Highland again. Looking forward to that one for
That's
sure.
gonna be the game everyone should circle on their calendars in Red
Yeah.
Mountain Highland. So that seems like maybe part of it is finishing it, but is there a certain phrase or terminology you guys are using, like what's kind of like your motto this season?
We don't have like a true motto. We talk a lot about it. I know they've kind of embraced it. We didn't say, hey, this is our new motto. I'm in charge. You got to understand, we've been a good program. It's not like I'm coming in having to change a lot. I always say I got handed the keys to a Ferrari, and I just got to be able to control it and get these on the right track and really finish it. They talk a lot about just being a family. A lot of times when we break it up, it's family. And it, like you said, it's more than, let's not just be teammates and have each other. Let's have it deeper than that. When you start playing for the guy next to you is when things start really meshing and we can do something really special.
Yeah, for real.
Perfect. That's all I've got. Anybody got any questions out here?
Brittany Boyer, SB Live Arizona. Are there any younger players on your team, maybe some freshmen or sophomores that we don't know about that you feel are going to make a name for themselves this season?
Yeah, so there's a freshman linebacker, Jamison Wade. I feel like he has a great chance to help us out. I don't know if he'll start at the beginning, but he's working his way. He's made great improvements already throughout what we've done. So yeah, Jamison Wade.
And then we have another sophomore receiver that will start X, Tavion Sewin. He'll be a really big player this year for us, and I think he'll do some big things. And after this year, he should get some good looks and stuff. So Tavion Sewin, you should hear a lot about him for sure.
And then I'll add to that, we have a Weston Hancock. He's a left tackle. I think he's the best offensive lineman in that class. He's going to be a sophomore. He would have started last year as a freshman for us, but he had a knee injury. And he's really, really good. To just on top of them, we got some good up and coming kids. Like you have freshmen playing varsity and sophomores that have played varsity. Tavion was on varsity last year, and now you got Weston. So those are three names to remember. A lot of big seasons.
Any other questions out there? All right, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.